their senior night against Nevada, they also got a win. And man, this was not close. 80-61. It was, could you say over? You probably can't say over at halftime, but man, it was impressive. I mean, tons of threes. So Nick Boyd led the Aztecs, 18 points. Miles Heide got the start. He had 14 points. BJ Davis had 10. Miles Bird had 8. And yeah, what stands out to me was the amount of three-pointers that were hit by the Aztecs. 10 three-pointers. How many did Nevada hit? 5. They were 5 for 23. The Aztecs were 10 for 26. So right there, that's 30 points compared to 15 points from 3. 15-point advantage right there, and the Aztecs won by a little bit more than 15. That's what stood out to me immediately when looking on this box score the other night, and then looking at it again right now. Defensive rebounds were pretty even. Total rebounds were pretty even. 19 assists for the Aztecs, 8 for Nevada in total. 5 blocks for the Aztecs, 2 for Nevada. 4 less turnovers than Nevada. Just overall, was a lot of guys contributing. Pharaoh Compton, 2 blocks that he had. 13 points off the bench for him. What I love about senior night is getting to see guys like Kimo Ferrari get in. He only had 4 minutes. I get it, but went to Francis Parker High School. I think he went to St. Augustine too, but I know he went to Francis Parker and went to Ivy League school Brown. Goes to the Aztecs for his last year this year, and he's just a fan favorite, being from San Diego, and he's not someone that you look at maybe walking on the street and you're like, yep, that guy is a basketball player. He plays for San Diego State. I was reading in the UT, I think Mark Ziegler wrote something on it, on Kimo, and there was a security guard at Viejas. It was either at Viejas or at Brown that stopped Kimo and said, like, no, this entrance is for the basketball team, thinking that he's not. I'm pretty sure it was at Viejas. Some security guard thought that he wasn't on the basketball team. No, to be fair to the security guard, it's not like this was, Nick Boyd walking up or McGoon Guah, right? But that's funny. And I think he's just relatable to Aztecs fans. So love those parts of senior night. Ted Leitner, his final game as the play-by-play guy for San Diego State. He stepped away from football this past year. His eyesight has been what has been failing him a little bit. And it's just great to hear his voice on the radio. And it's not a straight down the line call, and I don't want it to be that. Like, Uncle Teddy is special. And I love it when he's calling the game, but he's calling it as if he's watching the game on the couch. When the Aztecs were struggling on the road, I forget which game it was, but I was listening when I was driving around, and I think there were turnovers happening, bad shots, and he just lovingly rips into the team. Like, this can't be happening, boys. This cannot be happening, boys. And then he rips the refs, and it's just a fun listen. And he makes you smile while listening. So I'm going to miss it, but we also get to listen to friend of the show, John Schaefer, now. So that's going to be pretty cool. For those that listen to John on his show, John and Jim, or just they know John at all, he is a San Diego State basketball nut, loves that stuff. And so I have no doubt that he's going to kill it. He's going to crush it. And he's been working for years in this market, and he deserves it. I'm happy that he gets to do football and now to do basketball. It's great. And, of course, he and Teddy are 2 different styles, but I enjoy both of them. So that's going to be awesome. And just overall for the Aztecs and them winning this game obviously was huge, because if you lose to a Nevada team that isn't that good this year, you look at their record, which I'll pull up right now, 8-12 in conference, 16-15 overall. That's not the 21-8 that San Diego State is. That's not the 14-6 in conference that San Diego State is. You're at home. You got to win that game. If they lose, on Thursday against Boise in the Mountain West tournament in round 1, does that mean they missed the tournament? I don't think so. I think they're going to make the tournament. When you go 21-8 and you have a win against Houston, you have a win against Creighton. You weren't fully healthy when you were playing Gonzaga. I think you should still be able to get it. When you have the talent that San Diego State has, I think you should still be able. I'm not saying they're going to be a 6 seed or anything like that, but you should still get into the tournament and not the, what do they call it? The first 4 in Dayton? Not that, but into the tournament without having to do that. So to me, it just would have been hard if they would have lost to Nevada. Because then you're putting it in the hands of the committee if you don't win that tournament. Or what you are doing is you're putting it in the hands of you, but you got to win every game coming up this next week in Vegas or Henderson, wherever they're playing. So it's great that they were able to take care of business. And it's going to be a fun team to watch. Magoon, obviously, we'll see. Didn't play this past weekend. Not surprised at all by that. And we'll see if he plays on Thursday. Do the Aztecs feel good enough about their chances where they're like, hey, let's not push it? Maybe you play Friday. Maybe you play Saturday if we get there. I think that's how it would work. Unless they don't play Saturday and they have the championship game Sunday. But March, it seems like he's on track definitely to play for March Madness, but we don't know about this Mountain West tournament. So we'll see. And obviously, for anyone that doesn't know, is the knee sprain, I think that's what they called it, that he's been dealing with. No Reese Waters, obviously. This year was the red shirt. He's coming back next year. But even without him, it's a fun team. It's a team that can go on a run. When you guys can shoot like they can shoot, like they showed this past weekend. And we know that the defense is going to be there. The defense travels. Shooting might not be great all the time, as good as we want it to be all the time. But the defense travels. And when you have that, you've got a chance. You've got length still. Physicality with Compton and with JCJ. Heidi has been pretty impressive coming on this year. So, yeah, I mean, you have veteran leadership with Nick Boyd. So it's still, this isn't a team where I'm like, oh, yeah, first round exit. No. I guess it depends on the matchup, but I'll still have expectations for this team. I don't expect them to be Final Four or Elite Eight, but I think their ceiling could be like get to the Sweet 16. Things are going to have to go right, but it's going to be a fun watch.